know, she really excelled in that job. She was able to save enough money to buy her own house. Here she is now, this NFL wife, and she was really classy. She dressed fabulously, attended the events, really became a socialite on the Atlanta scene. Reality TV can be quite a nasty beast. Really, once you sign on that dotted line and you take that check and you cash it, that's it. You have no more rights, pretty much, to how you're going to be represented on the show. And so that's what happened to Sheree. Are they friends this week? Are they, you know, enemies this week? What's going on? Spelman was a great opportunity for Maya. This is a place that has produced some amazing African-American women. Glenda, she didn't take any prisoners. You were in her class, you were studying, she was very demanding, she had rituals. There's the idea that, oh, that's a white person's issue. They get that. And so in trying to find, you know, help and deal with this, she may have suppressed it. So after Dreamgirls, of course, you know, with limited roles in Hollywood, she was a hustler. She starred on It's a Living, a sitcom, and then she also got a role on Designing Women.
To celebrate African American Music Appreciation Month, curator Peter Souleo Wright asked artists to create new works inspired by famous hit songs.
Oh, completely, because the musical history of African Americans is that expansive. We really need 10 galleries.
Finally, he's a journalist on a mission with a strong message, too. Peter Souleo Wright has joined with the New York Public Library.
News for New York presents Positively Black.
I am so happy to have Melvin Van Peebles next to me, along with the curator of this exhibit, Souleo. Thank you both for being here.
I always knew that Aubrey O'Day would end up in the Slammer. What was it, a DUI or something? She's the real bad girl. The lighting was a bit too dark. Sansa Gold is a piece of sexy dark chocolate, but she needs that good old Oprah light to shine. I thought it was a good idea to have the Dream in there. He really makes the song smooth and appeals to the ladies, because Travis is kind of dirty. I love the fact that he does not take his eyes off Rihanna for 1 second. I think they probably just did the nasty behind stage.
But how did you get involved with the library? What are you trying to do here?
Well, I got involved with the library. Many thanks to Kelly M, the adult programming specialist. What I wanted to do was to create programming that really, you know, changes people's perceptions of what the library is, and that's what Kelly and I want to do with this. So people think of the library, I'm going to go get a book, use the internet. No, we need to engage people because there's so many distractions, so they need to become educational, cultural hubs, and that's what this programming does.
So how do you do that? You do sort of, are you right in the main reading room, or is this in like sort of a corner, or because, you know, I always think of libraries being very serious,
quiet,
very quiet.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways we do that is by creating interactive and engaging programming that uses literary references as a source of inspiration. So, for example, for Pride Month, we had Styled by Literature, where we had drag queens doing makeovers inspired by literary characters. Coming up, we have the Circus du Monde. They're coming from The Point, and they're going to do an interactive circus that's inspired by books that reference the circus. So creating these programs that engages the community, it shows them that books can come alive and you can have a great experience with them.
You have a very personal connection to how you kind of got into this. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, I have so many inspirations. One of my main inspirations is my mother, who is deceased now, and of course my brother, Glenn Spoof Wright. And he inspired me more on the sort of artistic tip, which is where I'm coming into as a curator with my upcoming exhibition, Emerge.
What did he do? How did he inspire you?
Yeah, he inspired me because Glenn, he was such a phenomenal person. He was really on the cusp of emerging himself. So he did photography. He was always taking pictures around the house. So he did a lot of that. He also drew on his skateboard, and he was becoming an artist. And unfortunately, his life was taken before he could fully blossom in that role.
Is it difficult as you know, as someone who's trying to create art or create something, create a presentation, when you have something as painful as that, does revisiting it help in that way? You know what I mean? Does this somehow help with the pain that you must feel?
Definitely. It's cathartic because the only option. You know, there's so many people in New York City, especially who are crime victims, you know, families, like the Mothers of Harlem, that organization. So you wallow in despair, or you decide, you know what, I'm going to use the light and inspiration of the person that I lost and use that for, you know, for me starting to do something positive in the community. So that's definitely a source of inspiration. I feel like I have angels, you know, on each side of me, my mom and my brother guiding me now.
Tell me about some of the other programs, and will people just kind of encounter these, or will they just kind of pop up, or how does that work?
Cool. Well, with the Moment of Loud, this is a debut series with the New York Public Library, and so what they're going to be doing is we have various programming that we're promoting. So people, you know, we're promoting it in the library, outside of the library by being here. We also have a juice making workshop, which is coming up, so they can get, you know, it's hot outside, right? It's a heat wave.
You got everything going on.
Yeah.
Don't you?
So come inside the library and get some juice, free juices, and learn how to make free healthy drinks inspired by books such as like Water for Chocolate. We're also going to have a gong concert in Harlem. A lot of people don't associate African Americans with gongs, but Washu Aten is an awesome, you know, gong player.
Man, we have come a long way from the card catalog, which is something we used to have back in my day. I'll tell you about it when we go off the air.
Yeah, I don't know much about that.
Computers weren't always around. Souleo, so nice to have you. Thank you for
much.
sharing part of your holiday with us.
Thank
here.
you so much. So myself and Lisa D. Hayes co-curated this project, and so we really have artists who work with everyday materials. So these are buttons, and so we have an artist named Bo who works with buttons and transforms them. We have an artist who works with thumbtacks, and he creates portraits, and abstract works with that. So we really wanted to use these works as an accessible entry point to make the art very universal. So when you see an everyday object transformed into art, immediately you connect. And so Mr. Van Peebles, working with mixed media, he also works with these found objects in many of his works too, so it was just a perfect union. This young man is teaching me so much about life, that you never stop. You continue to reinvent yourself, to pursue your dreams, and that, you know, age is really just a number. It means nothing in terms of your heart. And so Lisa and I, we connected with him because of that spirit, that vitality, and so we're just honored to, have the wisdom that he's just been giving us. I think that's very wise. As an artist, you have to live your life and you have to be true to yourself. And right now, Jennifer, she's not in a condition to be out there promoting her film or her music, and you know, her fans wouldn't think that it would be respectable anyway. So of course, she needs to take care of herself, keep herself grounded, remember her mother's legacy, which was, you know, confidence, support, wisdom. Remember all those great things that her family gave her, and hold on to that, because that is really the only thing that's going to get her through this terrible, terrible tragedy.
She stayed in constant contact with her family, correct?
Oh, yes, constant contact. And it's actually a funny story. Her mom actually did not want people to know that Jennifer Hudson was her daughter, that they were related, because she liked her privacy and she didn't want people to be too involved in their family business and things of that nature. But yes, she stayed in constant contact with her family, would visit her brother and sister, and when she would go there, you know, they would tell her, oh my God, Jennifer, what are you wearing? Why do you have this on? So they were just honest and loving with one another, and so that's her rock, that's her support system. And now that it's gone, it's gonna be tough for her.